Hey, I'm Mr. B, and this is how to solve absolute value equations for x. So over here I got my steps. Step one, get the absolute value by itself. So that's this thing. I like to treat that thing like its own box, and I want to get everything else totally away from it. Then I move on to step two. So if I look at this box here, there's a -4 next to it. Just like regular solving for x algebraically, there's a -4 next to it. To get rid of it, I can add 4. If I add 4 to one side, I also add 4 to the other side, and I get 14 equals 2 times my box. Cool. I got rid of that -4 just by adding 4. I want to get my box by itself. Now, there's still this 2 in front of it. So it's almost like 2 of whatever my box is. So that would be multiplying 2 times whatever my box is. Therefore, to get rid of that 2, I'm going to divide. It cancels out over there, but if I do it to one side, I must do it to the other side. 14 divided by 2, 7, equals the absolute value of x plus 1. Again, this is now my box. And finally, I have it fully by itself. Cool. So my step one, get it fully by itself. Step two, there's a choice. Is the answer, by the answer I'm talking about this thing, whatever my box is equal to, is it positive? Because remember, absolute value just means distance from 0, or pretty much just means distance, and distance cannot be negative. It doesn't matter if I run a mile that way, or that way, or that way, or behind me, I still ran a mile. I didn't run like a negative mile. That makes no sense. So therefore, absolute value cannot be negative. So if it's going to be negative, we're going to have a problem, which we'll get to later. Right now, my absolute value box is equal to 7. That's good. Okay, to solve this, I have to figure out when does this thing equal 7. And remember, it's absolute value. Just a quick recap, I'll pull over to the side here. The absolute value of 7 is 7, and the absolute value of -7 is also 7. Because again, absolute value cannot be negative. So I need to figure out when this box equals 7 or it equals -7. So what I do is, I'm going to split it up into 2 separate equations. One in which my box equals 7, and one in which my box equals -7. Now I just solve each of these. -1, -1, 6 equals x. -1, -1. But notice there's a -7 now. -7 minus 1, that's -8 equals x. And that's because -8 plus 1, that's -7, which then the absolute value makes it +7. And 6 plus 1 makes it 7, and the absolute value of 7 is 7. So that's why there are 2 answers here, because it could be both positive or -7 in there. Okay, nothing crazy. 2 steps, but the second one, you just gotta be careful if the answer is positive or not. Let's do the next one. This next one, same thing. Get my absolute value by itself. So I'll put my little box around it. I see a +8 next to it. I'm going to get rid of a +8 by adding 8. Sorry, I'm going to get rid of a +8 by subtracting 8. I do the inverse or the opposite. If I subtract 8 over here, I also subtract 8 over here. I'm left with 12 equals 3 times the absolute value of 2x plus 2. I put that in my little red box, so I know that's what I'm talking about. That's what I want by itself. Right now there's a 3 in front of it, almost like they have a 3 of whatever this thing is. So to get rid of that, I'm going to divide it by 3, divide it by 3, and I have 4 equals the absolute value of 2x plus 2. 4 equals the absolute value of 2x plus 2. Now my absolute value is by itself. So now I have to ask, is my answer positive? Can this thing equal 4? Yes, it can. So now I have to split it up, because remember, I want this to be 4, which means the two answers, if I could somehow get this to be positive 4, that would be good. If I could somehow get it to be negative 4, that also would be good, because the absolute value of negative 4 is still 4. Cool. So I split it up into two equations, one positive, one negative, and I just solve these. I gotta get x by itself here, so I minus 2, 4 minus 2, that's 2, 2 equals 2x. Is my x alone? No, there's a 2 in front of it. I divide by 2, 1 equals x. So I got one answer, x is 1, or 1 equals x, that's the same thing. I gotta solve this one. Same way, get my x by itself, subtract 2, negative 6 equals 2x, divide 2, negative 3 equals x. Again, I got two answers, x is 1 or x is negative 3, because both of those, when I take the absolute value of it, will give me 4. Cool. Gonna keep moving. This one here, steps are the same. Get my absolute value by itself. Right now, there's a plus 10 next to it. To get rid of a plus 10, I subtract 10. If I subtract 10 from the right side, I also got to subtract 10 from the left side. 8 minus 10 is negative 2, equals the absolute value of x plus 7. Cool. I did step 1. Now step 2. Is my answer positive? No, it's not. Problem. Can the absolute value of anything ever give me negative 2? It can't. Because if it was the absolute value of negative 2, that's still 2. Absolute value of 2, that's 2. Absolute value cannot be negative. Therefore, I can't solve this. No solutions. I put a big circle around that, and that's all I gotta do. Because immediately I see when my absolute value is alone equal to a negative, it can't work. Cool, I got one more. This is probably the hardest one the teacher can give you. Immediately, I see that my absolute value is equal to this negative 30 over here. So some of you might be tempted to be, oh, no solutions right away. But remember, that's step 2 for a reason. First, I gotta get it by itself. And you'll see why in 2 seconds. So again, I wanna get my box by itself. Right now, there's a negative 2 in front of it. So it's like negative 2 times whatever this box is. To get rid of this negative 2, I divide by negative 2, because that's multiplying with it. If I divide the right side by negative 2, I also gotta divide the left side by negative 2. Negative 30 divided by negative 2, two negatives make a positive. Positive 15 equals 3x plus 6. And you'll notice it ended up being a positive. When I got my absolute value by itself, it ended up being a positive because a negative divided by a negative became a positive. So although in the beginning I didn't think I could do it, I actually could. So now my answer is positive. I split it up. One of them is a positive version of 15. One of them is the negative version of 15. I solve both of these for x. Minus 6, 9 equals 3x. Divide by 3, x equals 3. That's just solving for x. Minus 6 here, negative 21 equals 3x. To get rid of the 3 in front, I divide 3, and 21 divided by 3, that's 7. And it's 1 negative, 1 positive, so it's negative 7. Those are my 2 answers there. These are always your steps. Get the absolute value by itself. If it's positive, split it up and solve. If it's negative, it's no solutions. it's nice to check back just to be super safe and ensure that you got your answer. You can take both of these and put them back into X in the beginning and see if it gives you the right answer. If it does, you know you did it right. That's how you solve absolute value equations with variables. Hope that helped.